to a lot of HNI clients and has experience of multiple cycles, clearly believes that it's a year of investing, yes, making too much of money, maybe no. Can companies which come out with good results and good business segments counter that? That's the question that we pose to the next management. Uflex may be trading with marginal gains in the current trading session, but did very well yesterday. However, 2018 so far hasn't been the best year. Let's try and talk about how the business will look like in calendar year 18. Joining us on the phone line, Chief Financial Officer Rajesh Bhatia. Good having you, Mr. Bhatia. Thanks for joining in. How has business been like? I mean, the BOPP film market increasing, the increased consumption with food packaging, etc., so on and so forth. What is it that all of this is likely to do for you as a business?
So I think clearly, as you rightly said, the volumes are clearly, the big gainers in the current, current year. So if we compare the 9 months for up to December 17 versus the last year, the volumes are up about by 9%. That augurs well for the industry, and as we are, consuming more and coming out of the effect of GST and demonetization, despite that, we had this much of a volume growth. And clearly, we would have a much better growth, but for these two factors that, that didn't allow us to, have our full potential. But I think as we go into FY 18-19, I think from a perspective of the volumes growth as well as the profitability growth, I think it should be reasonably decent. We are relying heavily on our, increased utilization of our packaging films plant. India, we are already almost doing almost 100%. Egypt, we are doing 100%. Poland, we are doing 100%. US is 100%. Then we have some surplus capacity in Dubai as well as in Mexico, which we are, we are ramping up the production there. So I think that's auguring well. Packaging business as such is doing great. If you ask me only about the packaging business, 9 months we had almost 11% volume growth. So, aseptic packaging, which we commissioned last quarter, and had a bit of impact on our profitability because, that plant has just got commissioned. I think we're looking to have good numbers in FY 18-19, and that's where, the growth is going to come from.
Mr. Bhatia, could you talk to us a little bit on the input cost trends, because we've seen the crude oil prices inching higher in the recent past. How are you mitigating those pressures? Have you been able to pass on the additional cost, and how much is it weighing on your margins?
So I think if we see basic, the chips cost, which is the basic raw material for making films, I think from 60 rupees per kg to about 74 rupees per kg now as we speak today. So there's been an increase in the price, led by the increase in the price of the crude oil and all that. But I think in the films business, we've been able to pass that on, and rather we had a capacity expansion, the margin expansion also. Not only that we were able to pass on the costs, we had a margin expansion also in our polyester films business. The BOPP is currently facing some headwinds in terms of some of the capacities got commissioned recently, and we seeing that the realizations are a bit down in there. So I may say that there it's not been able to pass on the increased cost and doing the margin expansion. But given that we are consuming all of that in-house itself, more or less in-house itself, so that does not, and we in any case we are not a very large BOPP player. We are the largest, we are the third or fourth largest polyester player globally, and that segment has seen better margins this year. It puts us in a much better position. taking that effect onto the packaging. So packaging is a business where, these, depending on the customer to customer, these costs are passed on, and, your prices are linked to the prices of, the crude and PTA, MEG. There may be some lag from ranging from 1 month to 3 months in some of the contracts, but yes, you are able to, pass on those additional costs on to the customers.
Okay, Mr. Bhatia, we'll let you go on that note. Appreciate you joining us today and giving us a heads up as to what's happening with the business currently. By the December quarter numbers, we did see some bit of degrowth in the bottom line and also on the margins. But let's focus back on the markets. Nifty